Hi guys, welcome to another video here on my channel. For those of you that are new, my name is Lakia and welcome to the Chaotic Critic family. For my returning subscribers, welcome back. Here on my channel, I share planning and organizational videos, plus so much more over on my blog, chaoticcritic.com. The link is always in the description box. The whole premise of my channel is to share with you guys how I'm crushing the chaos in my life with hopes that you'll be inspired and encouraged to crush the chaos in yours. Today's video is another addition in my Planning for 2020 series. If you're new to the channel, I will have the entire series along with other related videos linked in the description box. But in a nutshell, it features tips and tricks on how to help you choose the right planner in the new year. Today we're going to be continuing on with turning a notebook, you know, the back to school notebooks that you can get, whether they're $1 or less than, but we're going to be taking a regular notebook and turning it into a budget planner today. My previous video that I did was to turn it into a DIY planner. I will have that video linked below for you to check out, but I did both pen to paper and then also a decorative touch. So I got so much amazing feedback on that video. I wanted to go ahead and continue and share with you guys how you can turn this kind of system into a budget planner. I do have a low income budget series here on my channel, but I wanted to put this one in my Planning for 2020 series because it's more of a setup and just giving you guys general ideas. But to keep up with my financial dilemma that I'm going to be going into in 2020, you know what? We're going to leave the financial dilemma in 2019. But to keep up with all of my financial journey, be sure to check out my low income budget series. I have videos coming on my setup for 2020 and so much more very, very soon. So let's start off with what I would have in a DIY budget planner. I went ahead and highlighted the sections that are important to me. And the thing about a planner in general, and I recommended this in my choosing the right planner for you video, is to write down what it is that you're looking for. You could want a planner specifically for budgeting. You could want a planner specifically for day-to-day tasks, which a daily or an hourly might work better for you. But depending on the subject in which you are planning for, the topic, the area, that is what you need to zone in on and create subsections based on that. So for budgeting, for me, a bill pay tracker is essential, a payday tracker, a weekly budget, savings tracker, an expense tracker, and a debt tracker. And then last but not least, we'll be talking about budget stickers. And I'm also going to throw in some other options for you guys that are not DIY, but they're pretty affordable. So stay tuned for that. So let's go ahead and start off with the bill due tracker. For the sake of time and to really be able to go more in detail, I did map everything out for you guys. So here we go. For the bill due tracker, you have a few options. One, you can print it out like I did here. Get this simply off of Google. Pinterest has options, or you can write it in. If you're writing it in for this size of notebook, I'd have January through March here, April through June, and then I added a tip in, which is actually just one of the pieces of paper taped in. I use washi tape for the sake of this example, but definitely use clear tape so that it just has a more cohesive look. And then here would be July through September, and then October through December. You can also add a tip in for the bills that you have. But what this bill due tracker is basically at a month glance for you to see when your bill due dates are and when your paydays are. And while this may seem redundant to some, having this kind of layout is really great when it comes to weekly and monthly planning. So you can come here each week and say, okay, I know I have this and this. I'm getting paid and I have a couple bills due, and then you reference the tip in that you have of what your bills are and you plug it into your weekly planner accordingly. Now, if you don't, like I said, if you don't want to write this in, this can be pretty time consuming, but if you are looking for straight DIY, you don't have a printer, you're not printing anything, then definitely writing it out yourself, pop on a movie, get comfortable. It can happen. But if you want a faster route, then you can definitely print off one from Google and pop it in here. Now, if you don't want to do the tip in to continue the month, well, the yearly layout, you can do front and back. So It would be January through June on one side and then July through December on the back. I like this to be able to see it all at a glance. You can also do January, February, March and try to squeeze in 3 across the top. You can do that as well. I just happen to like this version, but it's all about configuring to what works best in your brain. But that is a bill due / payday tracker at a glance option. Now, another thing when it comes to paydates is to get more detailed. So I love having at a glance trackers, which you're going to see a lot in the tracking systems that I am going to be showing you guys, but I love having a more detailed version. So for the payday tracker, you would put in the date you got paid, the amount, and then you would put the total at the bottom. This way each month you're able to see how much you brought in versus just having it laid out here. So this is just to help you see what days of the week your bills are due and the day that you're getting paid. I happen to get paid every week. I am a nanny, so I get paid on a weekly basis. So this is easy, but I have been in situations where I get paid monthly for freelance. I've done odd jobs such as party planning on the weekends and things of that nature. So that would happen on the weekend and I would just plug in every time that I get paid. So this is also great to look back at the end of the year to see, okay, I got paid such and such a day. And then you can look at your pay date and then you can compare your total that you got for the month to your expense tracker. And the point of an expense tracker is to really pinpoint where your money is going. Okay. Since October of this year, I feel like my money has literally it's been flying out of my hands. Like I've been getting it and it's been going out just as fast as it's been coming in. This time of year, I feel like the last quarter, for me, it starts in October because of my birthday, but just the holiday season in general, between Black Friday and just buying gifts for people, buying gifts for yourself. I mean, it's like the marketing to buy stuff is just literally being thrown in your face. So I definitely want to do better next year. And I'll be talking more about this in my low income budget series, but I definitely want to get better at tracking how much I have coming in and really being diligent about my expenses. So the system that I came up with this is to put the day, amount, location, and what for. This is a more detailed list of your transactions, whereas you can have an at a glance to see how many days of the month you spent. And this is just a stacked tracker, but you can turn the page this way if you want to have 1 through 31, and then you would do that for the entire year. But for the sake of this line notebook, I just decided to stack the tracker. Now, the thing about this expense tracker in the what for section, it helps you pinpoint your spending habits. So for me, I ate a lot of takeout this year. So whether it said McDonald's or Wendy's or any other fast food location, going out to eat with friends, going on dates, whatever it is, I'm able to see, okay, this place was all food. And I know that I need to cut back. So this what for section is a great option to have in this layout to really begin to track and see where in the areas your money is going, and then you can see where you can cut back and scale back when it comes to your expenses. Next up, we have the savings tracker. Savings is very, very crucial. If you're going to spend, you definitely need to have savings implemented in your budgeting as well. So a quick and easy way is to just have the date, the amount, and the total. And for each time, the total is going to go up. In some cases, it may go down. Be honest with yourself. But I want to get back in the habit of saving each week a portion of my income. I'm going to be getting more into details on that, like I said. But you can save weekly. You can save bi-weekly. You can save if you get paid monthly. I've been in situations like that before. I've been paid weekly, monthly, and bi-weekly, and my favorite would definitely have to be weekly. I'm able to manage my bills better. For the space that I'm in now of getting my finances back in order, getting paid weekly is great. I hate getting paid monthly. My grandmother gets paid monthly, retired, Social Security and all that. I don't know how she does it. I did it for like almost a year, well, a little over a year, almost a year and a half. It was horrible. just personal preference. Whatever job you have is, you know, the pay period is the pay period. But that is a way for you to think about how you're going to save, is based on your pay period. Another thing is to make it more creative. What are you saving towards? Last year I was saving towards going to WrestleMania, and by the end of the year the money was pretty much saved up, and the tickets were bought earlier, like January, February, and done with it. And each week I was able to tally how much was saved for it. I love using mason jars. This is a principle. I don't draw. You can also get die cuts from the local craft stores if that's something that you're into. For my people out there that are not just pen to paper and you have a lot in your stash, search your stash and make a map and start to write in what it is that you're saving towards. Another thing is the piggy banks. I love doing that. And then you could just have a map in general and swap these out with whatever you want. And of course you can configure this however you wish, whether you want to have the mason jars going all the way across. However, that's just an option to be more creative in it. It's more visually appealing than just this. This gets you more excited. You can turn this into like a vision. You could cut it out from a magazine. If you're saving for a vacation, have a little resort, and you just continue to add in. But I would definitely put the amount and date so you can then compare that to when you're getting paid to see how much you're able to save during each pay period. Then we have the debt tracker. I know I'm not the only one in debt. So all of you that are out of debt, I applaud you. I have a car loan that I'm trying to pay off. I have miscellaneous credit cards, all these bad financial choices that I made during my college years. I don't recommend it. I tell my sister, who is now 19, she has credit cards and she's so excited. You know, think about what it is that you're spending, because when you get into credit, and I wish that this was taught more in school. I wish that there were more financial courses. There's more available now, but like I wish that's something that's taught in school. Like a credit card, you have to pay this stuff back, and you think of you're building your credit, but then you end up in this hole and you keep trying to dig yourself out, and then they go and increase the limit when you start making payments and you're like, oh, I can spend. It's just a whole thing, okay? But the debt tracker that I came up with is pretty basic. I love this visual one where you can literally put in the increments in which you want to pay it. This could also be, you know, when you reach $500, when you reach $1,000, you can also make these increments smaller, and you highlight and you add the date that you paid it as you go. But to keep it simple, you can put the due date or the date paid, the payment, and the remaining balance. For a more detailed look, the debt name, the minimum payment, the balance, how much you paid, the date you paid it, and then the remaining balance. And then the year at a glance, similar to the expense tracker, you would just put the debt, whether it's a credit card, car loan, you'd put how much you paid that month, and then at the end of the year, if there's a remaining balance or if it is zero. So that's that. And another way that you could do this, if you don't want to put the amount that you paid, you can put the balance. You could also leave space, 2 lines here to put how much you paid. So you can put the amount on top of how much you paid, and then on the bottom the remaining balance, and then here at the end of the year to put a total of how much you paid toward it, and then what your current balance is. So that's another option of what you can do. And the total paid, you can also put down here, tally at the end of the month. There's different ways that you can configure this. And then last but not least is the bill pay checklist. I do this from week to week. I've shared this quite a bit in my low income budget series. But what I like to do is write the amount, and then I like to split 60-40 or 70-30 depending on my pay period. So the 60 or 70% goes to bills, and then the 30 or 40% goes to different categories, whether that's debt, savings, personal, miscellaneous, or tithes. An example that I did is that I generally get paid $500 a week, which comes out to $2,000 a month. That does not seem like a lot, which is why my series is called the Low Income Budget Series. But it is what it is. It's the situation I have now. But thankfully, I do have a freelance job, which does add to that total. I'll be getting more into that. But I bank on what is guaranteed, which is this weekly. So the $500, the 60% of that would be $300. The 40% would be $200. I just did an example $150 for rent, which I pay weekly. I live with my grandmother, but I give her money every week, and at least $150. And then $43 is life insurance. And then I have the money left over here. And then for the $200, well, it's not left over. I would then be able to pay a bill, put this toward a bill next week, or put this towards something else that may be past due that I need to catch up with, which happens from time to time if I'm being completely honest. And then this here, the $200, I split into fours. So 50, 50, 50, 50 into tithes, personal, savings, and debt. And my debt for this one would be a credit card, which is Kohl's, and that is a little bit more of than the minimum. The minimum is like 40 something. I usually give 50. So that's an example of how to break this down. Again, I have more on this, and you'll be seeing more of this in the new year in my low income budget series. So that in a nutshell is a basic layout of how you can turn these pages into budgeting pages to get your finances on track. Be as creative or as simple as you want. I love sharing this kind of stuff with you guys. So if you have any other ideas, let me know in the comments below. But before we end this off, I definitely want to talk about budget stickers, which help you when it comes to exactly what should you put in your budget planner. So I gave a lot of my budget stickers away when I did my Happy Planner giveaway, but this is the Happy Planner Budget Extension Pack. Well, not budget extension pack. We'll get to that in a second. The budget sticker book. Happy Planner did just come out with another budget line. But just to show you some of the stickers, you get some motivational quotes, but then it has like the debts here, credit card loan. You can write in what it is that you want, and then you can put budget and then what you spent. So what you budgeted and you're paid to spend, and then what you actually spent. Same thing as with charities, charity and savings. Then they have stickers like this with the bill due, which is good to put in your weekly view. And then a budget review. I love these stickers because it's a reminder to actually look at your budget. Don't just write it. I've been in situations where, well, oftentimes this year, I should say, I have literally had my budget and everything mapped out, and I literally did it, and I never looked at it again. So having this reminder, set a notification on your phone. Check what it is that you're writing down. I did try a digital app when it came to budgeting, which is the Every Dollar app, but writing it down on pen and paper just works better for me and my brain. Then you see here, these are financial goals, and this is good for savings right here. Whether you're saving for something as small as a more personal item, whether it be concert tickets, traveling, going to an event, girls trip, birthday, whatever, or something that is bigger, whether that's a new car, a home, things of that nature, you can put in financial goals here. And then some more of those little flags. Tracking your groceries is great. This is another way to track your spending habits. Same thing with gas. These are good for weekly views, but also if you want to just make trackers in your planner, these stickers are good for those. And then some basic ones. This is the piggy bank one I was talking about. And they do have this sticker book in the mini version. And again, like I said, they do have this in they do have a new line out. I'll have all that links in the description box for you to check out. Now let's talk about some other budget options for those out there that don't want to necessarily use the notebook but want something affordable and already pretty much created for you, and you're just ready to get down to budgeting ASAP. Okay, so the options that I'm about to share with you as far as budget planners that are already together are options that are under $20. So you can always go to Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, and look in their planner section. Their planners are usually $10 or under. You can get a monthly planner that's just the 12 months, and you can use the monthly section and write out your expenses in the monthly part, and then use the notes pages in the back to get more detailed with your budget. If you are looking for an even cheaper option, Dollar Tree has planners. This one is one that I found that is actually undated, a week on one page, and it also has a monthly. So for this, what I was doing was I used the I use the monthly to put my expenses. I use the sidebar to put my bills. I put in all the times that I got paid. And then each day I went more into detail on my expenses. Whereas this monthly view is a snapshot of my expenses. So I love to be able to look at that. This is not a system I'm going to be using in 2020, but it's an option for you guys out there. And then this was my payday. I put my payday schedule here, any additional income that I had outside of my weekly pay, and then I put week 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that is how I use this kind of planner. Now there's also smaller options that you can get from Target. This is a Blue Sky one. It's a regular horizontal planner. You can do the same thing like I just showed you in that one. You can do the same thing here and map out your expenses, and you can write in your bills, and then you use the monthly to write in the totals and highlight if you want to. This does not have notes pages in the back, but if you're looking for something really simple to just see when your bills are due, to check off that you paid the bills, and to keep track of your expenses on the go, this size is a great option. And I got this idea from Don't Debt Me. I really do love her page, so if you guys are interested in that, I'll have her information linked below. She is over on Instagram, and I'll link below some of my other budget favorites here on YouTube and on social media in general. The last option, well, 2 more options. Before I get to the last one, Clever Fox, which I have shared in my Planning for 2020 series, they do have a budget planner, and theirs is $20. And Happy Planner has a budget extension pack. They do have budget planners, but I like the budget extension pack. It's not something that you have to keep up with weekly. It's more of a template. So this cover happens to be from the budget planner, but you can always DIY your own cover, and the discs are pretty affordable. But if you're just going to go with the budget extension pack, it is available in 3 sizes: the big, the mini, and the classic. The big one is $15, and the extension packs are just for 6 months. So if you were to buy it for the whole year, it would be $30. For the classic size, it would be $10 per pack that you're picking up, and then for the mini it would be $18. So yes, $30 for the big, $20 for the classic, and $18 for the mini. I would recommend just starting off with one of the extension packs and seeing if you like it and giving it a try. So just to show you guys a little bit of what's in here, you do get a savings goal, and then here's what the month at a glance looks like. It's broken into categories, but I like making my own templates because sometimes I feel like the pre-made templates that are here for you, they're too much. It's too much a part of it. So I like to make my own, but this one did have you get an expense tracker here where you have the date, amount, category, cash, credit, debit, the form in which you spent, and whether it was a need or want. As you can see, majority of mine are wants. And then it also had the monthly view. And then you have the bill pay checklist, which just has the payment name, the due date, amount, and paid. And then it does have a budget review, and then you get back into that month at a glance. I have plenty of videos on this. Another thing that I did at the beginning of the year was to just look at my 2018 expenses in total, and I used those stickers to be able to make my own little tracker. And this is just using regular computer paper. I'll have more information on all of this linked below, but here's what it looks like, just pen to paper. I categorized everything, and this is a great way to look at the end of the year, what have you been spending your money on and how can you move forward and cut back, because I'm pretty sure there's areas where you can. So that is it. I hope that you guys found this information helpful and useful, but that's how I turned this cheap notebook into a useful, productive tool, aka the budget planner. If you guys would like to see how I created the regular planning section, I'll have that video linked below along with other related videos. But in the comment section below, If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them there. Check out all the details in the description box, which will have a ton of related videos and so much more that I mentioned throughout this video. And of course, my blog and Instagram. The blog is chaoticcritic.com. My Instagram is @chaoticcritic. If you're not subscribed to the Chaotic Critic fam, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. Would love to have you. Let me know in the comment section if you're new to the fam. Would love to say hello. And for all of you that are, I thank you guys so much for rocking with me. The Chaotic Critic fam is growing, and I'm so glad to have you guys along for the ride. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.